and welcome here to TalkFCB, and welcome back to the channel here today, guys, where we are going to be reacting to Barca's draw against Real Betis on Saturday, and of course also looking forward to a massive week of football to come. We will face Borussia Dortmund in the Champions League quarter-final on Wednesday, and coming up today we're going to be talking about some of the performances that we saw yesterday, also some concerns right now that I have in two different areas. Number one, speaking about fatigue, speaking about the way the team look physically right now, and especially heading into such an important period of the season. But also, guys, I think we have to talk about Raphinha. I think we have to talk about that big reaction that we saw after the final whistle and what all of this really tells us right now about his state of mind. It is all on the way, lots to discuss, so let's do it. However, guys, what we must do first of all is start by talking about some really positive things from yesterday's game. And let's start actually with that first goal. I mean, the way the first goal unfolded there, the movement, the players that were involved there in the build-up to that goal, for me, absolute poetry. I mean, that first goal was really, really beautiful. It almost looked as though it was video game football. The way that everything played out there, the weight of the passes were absolutely perfect, the precision of the move, and in the finish from Gavi, ruthless in front of goal there. You know, it was from a difficult angle, not an easy finish there, but he just tucks it away. Absolutely beautiful goal there, and of course, he doesn't celebrate. He's done this actually before against Real Betis, because he did spend several years in his youth career coming through the ranks there. So Gavi, a special moment for him against a club that certainly means a lot to him. But can we talk about him? Because Gavi, in my opinion, was probably the best Barca player yesterday, or certainly one of them, and by some distance as well, because his performance, again, it was all round. You know, it wasn't just about the goal, it wasn't just about what he's contributing in the final third. He was everywhere. He was winning the ball back, he was bringing the intensity there, he was really commanding in possession as well, and these are all the things that we've seen in Gavi's game just growing and growing in the past few matches. And I think for sure he is one of the really bright sparks of the team right now. I think he's one of those players who a few weeks ago, he wasn't really in the lineup, he wasn't really finding a way in, he was sort of on the outside looking in, and we were wondering, where is his best level? When are we going to find it again? We knew we had to give him time, of course, following that really, really tough injury. But look at him now, because it's another player here, just like with Frenkie de Jong, where Hansi Flick always had faith. He always had faith that Gavi would find a place in his team, that he would be such an important player for him, and he always said, just give it time, he will come good. And it's absolutely sublime that Gavi is recapturing his best level, that Gavi is certainly looking a lot more like the player that we know and love, and it's all ahead of the most important period of the season. It is also worth noting, guys, that yesterday, of course, we were missing Inigo Martinez at the very heart of our defence, and I've got to say, we always miss him, though. You know, whenever Inigo's not there, there's no doubt about the quality we have and the depth that we have at centre-back, but for me, it's just never quite the same. You know, he brings real balance there. He's outstanding in terms of his ball playing there out the back, so certainly yesterday, Inigo's absence did certainly have an impact on the game, and negatively from our point of view. But the great news is, it is only very minor discomfort. It feels as though yesterday Barca just didn't want to risk him. They didn't want to take that unnecessary risk really ahead of such big games to come. They sat him out, but he will. Flick has confirmed he'll be back for Dortmund. He will be ready for the Champions League on Wednesday. And like I say, we will need him. However, guys, for all of the good right now, and for sure there's still so many positives right now about Barca, even yesterday's result, in my opinion, there, like I said, when we look at the league table, it's a point gained. Obviously, we wanted 3. Obviously, on paper, it's 2 points dropped there against Real Betis, but because of Real Madrid's defeat, surprise defeat, shock defeat there against Valencia, we actually gained a point on them here. We've got to look at that bigger picture, and we always must keep some perspective. But at the same time, that doesn't mean here that I've got no concerns about this team. It doesn't mean that watching the game yesterday, watching the past few games as well, that there isn't a theme that's developing that worries me. And the fact is, the players are tired. That is an absolute fact right now. There's no getting around that. There's no hiding from it. You look out there, you look at the players at the end of the game as well, you can see there is tiredness there, that it's starting to take its toll the long season. And what's interesting about players when they're tired, and for example here, let's look at Lamine Yamal, because lots of people after yesterday's game were again undecided about his performances there, undecided about the contribution in the final third. And I think the thing about tiredness is, at times you think it's going to be obvious to see. You're going to see players there not running as much, maybe not giving as much fight, not having as much urgency in their game, and it's going to be obvious to see. But tiredness at times, it doesn't show in that way. I think it's more likely here that we're seeing some tiredness creep in, and you'll see it in the decision making. That's where you actually see, at the very, very top level, especially players of this quality right here, because they can still perform. They are actually good enough to, even when they are tired, even when they're physically struggling, they can still produce top quality moments, but it's about the consistency in the final third there. Somebody like Yamal, it's about that final moment, that final decision whereby he might just not be taking the right option right now. There might be a few passes here and there, a few moments where you think, okay, that wasn't the right option, that wasn't the right choice that was made there. And that's what tiredness can do, and especially somebody like him, who is so young as well. He has never encountered before a season as demanding as this one right here. He is being asked to play so much football, so many games, and every Barca player, I mean, look at it, guys. Let's be honest here. It's a joke. The schedule, it's scandalous in my opinion. You look at the way here, the players returned from being all around the world there on international duty. They then played on the 27th of March. 3 days later, they play again. 3 days later, they play again. 3 days later, they play again. Now, your video is not stuck. It's not some sort of YouTube error. This is happening game by game by game. It's a joke. And oh, ahead of the game against Dortmund, we've got 4 days rest. Oh, it's Christmas. It's absolutely unbelievable. And what I can't believe about the way the football is here today, guys, is we're reaching now the business end of the season, the most exciting games, or they should be the most exciting games of any season, whereby you should be seeing all the top players, all the top teams at their absolute peak. You should be seeing the best performances, the most exciting, brilliant, tactical matches, and yet we're all surviving. We are all, and I don't just mean here about Barca, it's all the top teams. We're all playing the same amount of games. We're just getting by. We're coasting through. We're finding ways to get through matches. And I tell you what, I dread to think of what's going to happen in the summer at the new format there by FIFA, the new Club World Cup. Now, luckily, we're not involved, and I know that it's costing us financially. I know that we're missing out there on many, many millions, but hey, we can actually save our legs in the process, because can you imagine playing another tournament, yet more matches after the season is over? It is unbelievable what the UEFA, what FIFA here are asking the players to do. It is absolutely crazy. And I also look at all of this, everything we discussed here about tiredness, fatigue, the way things work mentally at this level, is that also playing a part in what we are seeing right now with Raphinha? Because I think we've got to talk about this, and it's something here that I think a lot of us were actually quite shocked by after the final whistle yesterday. Now, he was furious. He was actually gone. And I mean here, he had no control of his own emotions. He had no control of what he was doing. His head was on Mars. It's as simple as that there. Raphinha was very annoyed by the referees, the decisions that were made in the game. That's understandable. You know, we know La Liga referees are absolutely awful. But he went too far. You know, you see him here really pushing Marc-Andre ter Stegen. He was trying to sort of restrain him, trying to hold him back, and he was actively pushing him. When I first saw this video, I thought he was in a genuine fight with ter Stegen. I thought that he maybe didn't want ter Stegen to come back, so he was taking aim at him. But it wasn't that at all. Ter Stegen was trying to stop him. Raphinha was just out of control. And then what I couldn't believe, the same happened with Hansi Flick. I mean, Flick here genuinely had a fight on his hands to sort of hold Raphinha back. He was really, really kicking off. Now, I know that on one hand you'll say, Raphinha, he's a fiery character. You know, that's in his blood. That's the way that he plays the game. He's somebody who wears his heart on his sleeve. We've seen it many, many times before, and we like that about him. We like that he has that edge. We've seen it on so many brilliant occasions this season. However, having said that, though, I think this is too far. I think ultimately right now you've got to calm down, because like I say, there's massive games to come here. You do not need to be getting that angry, that worked up there, that out of control. We've drawn a game. You know, Flick basically said to Raphinha, It's not the end of the world here. Don't get yourself in trouble. Don't jeopardise yourself in future games. Just accept it. You've got to walk away. And that's what he's told the players all season long. And I just think right now with Raphinha, we all saw what happened during the international break. You know, he spoke a lot before Brazil against Argentina. The words backfired. It got really fiery, really heated in that game. And I still don't think he's recovered from that. He has brought all of that baggage there from when he was away with Brazil. He has brought it back to Barcelona. And I just think right now that's why he was out of the starting 11 in yesterday's game. He's taking some time to just get back to the work that we're doing, to just sort of unwind, to just get back to the focus and the hard games that we have coming up. Because we need Raphinha. You know, we know what an incredible player that he's been this season. He has captured all of our hearts. You know, don't throw it away now. Don't lose sight of the goal. Don't lose sight of what you are capable of. And he just needs to cool it here. He just needs to zone in, focus, leave all of that baggage behind. We've got bigger goals. We have bigger objectives that right now, they are just on the horizon. And I tell you what, guys, you know, I would really like to know, what did you actually think when you saw those Raphinha clips from after the game there? You know, how angry he was, the altercation with Marc-Andre ter Stegen. Apparently those two, you know, they're fine. There's no ill feeling or anything like that. Ter Stegen was just trying to step in and do what he could. And also there, the images with Hansi Flick too. Raphinha, very angry, very upset with the referees. Like I say, I can understand that. But there does come a time here where you just got to take a breath. We've all got to try and be calm. We've all got to try and pace ourselves here over the remainder of this very intense season. But guys, please do let me know all of your thoughts, all of your takeaways there from the weekend's game against Betis. And what are you feeling ahead of the UEFA Champions League, guys? I will see you soon for all of that build-up to come. I cannot wait for it. And I thank you indeed here for watching and for all of your great support. But until next time, as always, Real Barca.